Well, this should be fun.
This is going to be really fun.
I'm really excited to hear what you have to say about our movie tonight.
I'm stuck. Yeah, I have a lot to say about this movie.
I figured you might. A lot to say.
A lot.
Yeah. Well, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your sommelier of cinema, your viceroy of verisimilitude, your master of fun and wonder, your existential Mr. Rogers, and I'm here with my lovely co-host,
Elizabeth Gwendolyn Bell.
And Elizabeth, what does Robservations present tonight?
This is Elizabeth's whining about the movies.
We are whining about the movies, which
Yes,
is
we
amazing.
are.
And you are whining a lot about this movie.
Yes, I was.
You're whining a lot about it. Well, I think we're going to need a stiff one after this.
Yes. Let's get
Tonight's
some wine.
Yeah, we got to get some wine. Tonight's drop, it's a lovely drop, isn't it? I think. I don't even know what it is, to be honest. This is a Petite Syrah. I don't think we've had a Petite. Have we had Syrah?
No, but
this is Bruno, maybe named after the Bruce Willis album Bruno. A Petite Syrah from 2018.
this is also from Naked Wines.
From Naked Wines. All right, then. Sorry, I'm a little sweaty tonight.
It's kind of warm in here.
It's very, very hot in here. I know. We have to do something about that.
To get an air conditioner in here.
Yeah, we will. Well, let's drink to tonight's film.
Right.
Tonight's film, we have to drink it first.
Yes.
We toast it. It's bad luck. We don't.
Let's
First
taste
of all,
it. Lovely.
I like it.
It's very good.
It's good. Which I'm glad this is good because maybe it'll make up for the movie I've inflicted upon you. This movie, for those of you who don't know, is directed by the famous, I don't know what you call him, the very famous Russ Meyer. Now, Russ Meyer is a very interesting filmmaker. He became fascinated with filmmaking when he was a kid, and during World War II, he went into the Army Signal Corps, where he actually learned a lot about filmmaking. Sorry, I have to wipe my brow. Learned a lot about filmmaking from some of the master filmmakers that were also conscripted or drafted or were in the war. So he was a very knowledgeable man when it came to filmmaking. And when he came back, he found it very difficult to get into Hollywood. And in the late 50s, he was making industrial films. In the late 50s, he started to make, well, let's call them blue movies. And because of an experience he had while stationed in France, he developed a fixation on, of course, as everyone knows,
Boobs?
big boobs. He loves big boobs.
Lots of boobs in this film.
His movies are known for big boobs, and of course...
They're all fake, though.
No.
I didn't see any real ones in there.
Come on, the boobs in this movie are
They're
fantastic.
not real.
No, a lot of them are real.
I didn't see any real ones.
There was a lot of real boobs in this
No.
movie. Trust me.
They were all fake.
They weren't all fake. Come on, man. Anyway, so Russ Meyer is known for, first of all, he made a lot of black and white movies and short films, but then he started to make movies like Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, Vixen, Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens, and then this film, which came out in 1970, which some might call his masterpiece, others might call perhaps one of the worst films ever made, depending on your point of view. I am an admirer of Russ Meyer as a director and an editor. He also shot his own movies. They're beautifully photographed, and he really pioneered montage editing and cutaways and things like that. He had certain predilections. He didn't like to see anybody blink on camera, so
Which is so unnatural.
Well, anyway, we'll get into that. I'm an admirer of Russ Meyer, and I would not call him, the world's greatest filmmaker. He has a certain kind of a brilliance, maybe a mad brilliance. And, of course, Valley of the Dolls, and dolls is a euphemism for drugs. Downers, whatever. So Valley of the Dolls was a very famous movie that came out, and it was it sort of summed up 60s, what was going on in middle-class culture. It was very... So this movie was done as a parody, a send-up, a commentary. It was a combination musical, exploitation, sex, horror film.
Comedy, you forgot.
And a comedy, too. It's kind of funny. So that sets the stage. So, Elizabeth, why don't you tell us what is beyond the Valley of the Dolls? By the way, it begins with a. By the way, here's the beautiful Criterion Blu-ray that we watched. Yes, Criterion did this on Blu-ray, which says something. Now,
it just says people will buy it. That's all it says.
No, at the beginning of the movie, there's a title card that says this is not a direct sequel to Valley of the Dolls, but it is sort of a thematic brother or sister or distant cousin, and it's going to deal with the same kind of Hollywood degradation and kind of what the first film dealt with, but not in the same way, as we find out. So, Elizabeth, why don't you tell us about what is Beyond the Valley of the Dolls about?
Yeah, what is it about? This film, I don't know. I don't even think it knows what it's about. I mean, the writing is awful.
Now, we should mention this movie is co-written by the great film critic Roger Ebert.
Now,
who co-wrote it with Russ Meyer based on a story by Meyer.
That blew my mind. I'm like, how can he, for years after that, criticize other movies when he made one of the worst films I've ever seen?
Is it, though? Is it one of the worst movies you've ever seen?
It is. I would say it's on par.
Don't you think there's a strange kind of Baroque... Oh, come on now. This movie is far better than Body Melt. And I like Body Melt. We're going to do that one day. We're going to talk about... No, so tell people more about... Okay, it starts out where three girls who are in a band, and we have to get the right...
They're in high school.
No, they play high school. They're older than that. They're just like out of high school. They're playing... Or maybe they are in high school. They're playing their high school... They're playing their high school prom. And it's three girls. It's hang on, I got to get this right. There's Kelly, Casey, and Pat.
Right.
Kelly, Casey, and Pat.
And the guy.
And the guy Harris.
The manager guy.
Harris, the manager. And they have a band. Their band is named The Kelly Affair, which is a great name for a band.
That is a cool name for a band.
It's a cool name for a band. And they decide in the beginning of the movie to blow this popsicle stand. You don't really know if they're in Texas or if they're in Oklahoma, the Midwest.
Well, they show a map.
They do show a map. And they say
singing and traversing the country.
Yeah, so there's a great musical montage where they set out west and they land in Hollywood because Kelly has an aunt there who inherited a lot of money. That's like family money, but she's like disowned, or kind of like the guy or the mother in Kind Hearts and Coronets.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes there, and when they arrive, they get sucked into the advertising world, and then they get sucked in to the rock and roll world of Z-Man.
Yeah,
who is this club record producer, impresario, who has these rockin' drug-fueled parties that turn into orgies at his Hollywood Hills.
Yeah, so first of all,
actually, it's in Malibu, I think.
When you first see his place, like, they go to his house for a party.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's my happening, and it freaks me out.
And then it turns into this montage of, like, laughing, where they're, like, showing little vignettes of people dancing. But the thing is, there aren't even
Laugh-In reference, by the way.
Any good jokes. At least in Laugh-In, they were, like, making jokes.
Well, there's boobs. There's a lot of boobs in this movie. There's even cutaways to boobs. But there's lots of... You see sort of these denizens of Hollywood. They're hangers-on, and you meet, like, all kinds of crazy people that are all high and doing drugs. And this film is very free with its sexuality. There's male and male coupling. There's a sort of this stylist who's a full-on lesbian who's always just wantonly eyeing the women hungrily. And there's a voracious porn star that has her sights on Harris.
Don't get me started on the porn star. Come on, man. If you're a porn star, the last thing you want to do is chase guys and have sex.
How do you know that?
You do that for a living.
Well, that doesn't mean you don't want to do it anymore.
Please.
What do you mean, please?
I thought that character was so ridiculous.
She looked good. She was just she wanted to deflower this guy, and poor Harris, the nice guy, as Z-Man sees, he invites the girls up at his party to sing, and he realizes they're really talented.
They are.
Their band is really, really talented, and the music in this movie is great. You've got the Strawberry Alarm Clock is playing at Z-Man's house, and they show up, and they meet Z-Man, Ronnie Z-Man Barzell.
Yeah.
And he is, I think one of the great characters in cinema history. He's got this incredible face. I mean, he just looks like this Machiavellian, Lord Byron-esque character straight out of a Hieronymus Bosch painting.
Actually, he was the most interesting character.
He was the most interesting character. So tell us what happens.
So
Z-Man changes their name to the Carrie Nations.
Does he? I don't remember that part.
Come on, they have and they become huge stars.
Yes, they do.
And poor Harris
records.
is left in the dust while they get famous.
Right, and so then they start sleeping around with other people and doing drugs and.
Well, Kelly drifts away from Lance and Kelly drifts away from Harris and hooks up with Lance, who's a straight up gigolo.
Right.
Like he screws old women, young women. He just wants money.
He wants money. And he pushes her to get more money from her aunt.
Mm-hmm.
So her aunt said that she would get a third of their inheritance,
right?
Which was $250,000, or what was, I don't remember.
She was gonna get like 25% or something, and then she wants 50.
Yeah, and then he pushed her to ask for 50 or to get 50.
So basically, all of this stuff is a send up and a parody of soap operas and Peyton Place and all of the very serious, we'll call them serious, but those shows of the time. This is a complete over the top, ridiculous examination of this culture. I mean, the whole thing is a send up. You can't take any of it seriously.
You can't, but they're acting it seriously, and really bad acting, by the way. Really bad acting.
Well, Russ Meyer was known to work with certain kinds of women that weren't necessarily, let's just say, they don't perform Shakespeare in the Park.
Yeah, it shows.
And that's why he uses a lot of montages and cuts away from them a lot. That's why he developed that fantastic editing style of his.
I feel like the script was written by, like, a teenager. Well, it's so immature, and it's just so silly, and...
Well, Russ Meyer...
and not only that, they threw everything in. I mean, anything they could think of, they threw it in. I mean, it became at the end, like, ridiculous. It was like, and I was even guessing what's going to be thrown in next.
You're like, is this guy going to become a paraplegic now?
This guy's going to jump. Oh, he's going to commit suicide. Oh, he's going to become a paraplegic all before it happened.
But
there's going to be a murder. There's going to be an abortion. There's going to be, what else? Oh,
there's lesbian sex.
There's an hermaphrodite. I mean,
don't ruin oh, man. Hermaphrodite, how do you know? No, Z-Man, well, that comes later. I mean, this movie has...
It's all in there.
Every twist and turn was combined into 109 minutes of delightful, widescreen, beautifully colorful, insane awesomeness.
Insane is the right word.
Yeah, but at first, you got into it.
No, I was mad. I was like, what is this?
I thought you would get into... I did...
You kept saying, oh, you're going to love this film. You're going to love this film. I guess you don't know me very well.
I think I've been batting 1,000 until now, for the most part. I mean, I've shown you a couple of weird things, but... Come on, I picked these things. I mean, we'll watch Sound of Music.
Yeah, and you loved it. I knew you would.
Yeah, but I mean, this movie, I'm trying to show you a wide gamut of film history.
Okay.
And this is a straight up, slice of exploitation. Russ Meyer was a very singularly interesting filmmaker, who, by the way, he had some feminist critics on his side.
What? Oh,
yes,
and that's
did.
Another thing. Oh my God. This film is so sexist, it's ridiculous. And I know it was the 70s, but still, like, this is beyond. Like, this is so ridiculous. And even the women would change their voices when they were either, like, when they were being, like, in charge of everything. They had a nice voice, a normal voice. And then they would talk to men and they would be like this. Oh.
Because they were manipulating everyone.
Oh. What did you... Oh.
They were manipulating. Everybody was manipulating everybody else.
That was so ridiculous. Oh, it made me very upset.
Well, we see the lives and the travails of these women as they fall in and out of love. As
they're not in love. They're just having sex. They're not.
Well, no, I think Pat falls in love with her. Which
one is Pat? See,
I don't even know. Pat is black.
Okay.
She's the cute black girl that's part of the...
Yeah, but she still cheats on him.
Well, yeah, but she makes a mistake with a prize fighter who won the heavyweight championship of the world, apparently.
On.
She has a really nice boyfriend who's studying to be a lawyer.
And he's also an interesting character.
And they're in love with each other. They love each other. They truly straight up love each other.
Okay, so then why would she sleep with that other guy?
Because he was... how great this character is introduced: a strapping black man, muscular
He always
prize
has
fighter.
his shirt
He
off.
never even has it. Yeah, he's just at this party at Z-Man's house with no shirt on.
Yeah.
No explanation, and he's kind of.
Really
I mean,
buff.
I liked his character until he became a douche. When
He
you
was a
meet him,
douche.
he knows Lance, the gigolo. Like, how you doing, man? They know each other.
He's a douche from the beginning.
I don't think so. I kind of liked him in the
Yes.
beginning.
I didn't.
And then you realize he's a manipulative douche, and he gets Pat into bed, ruining what could have been the only pure relationship in the film.
Not only that, he ruins that, but he like runs the guy over in his car.
Well, that was later. Pat's nice boyfriend catches them in bed together
Yeah.
after he's going to pass the bar and become a lawyer. It's shattering.
Yeah.
Shattering. There's an altercation.
And then he hits him with his car. And then tosses him into the flower bed. And then a later scene, he comes back again and beats him up in his own home.
Threatens to, like, rape Pat right there in front of him.
I mean-
They get in an altercation.
This film.
No, but it compresses every ridiculous soap opera trope into a 109-minute film.
Yeah, it did.
But that's the beauty of it. I mean, that's the insane Russ Meyer-ness of it. It's just full of big boobs and sexually, what is the word? Fecund women. It's just I tell you, it is just a joy to behold. And the first time I saw this movie was on a really shitty VHS copy that was not widescreen. And I was younger, and I kind of understood what he was doing. I didn't know if I liked it. But you can't not love this movie.
I
This
just
gorgeous.
think there are parodies that have been done way better than this. I mean, this was just
But you didn't think it was like a time
bad.
like this.
This was so bad. This was so bad. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's bad. It's bad.
See,
I know it's a cult film, but it's bad.
What about the evocation of the 70s, how the late 60s, early 70s lifestyle? The fact that this movie is even a parody of what people believed Hollywood was like.
Right.
Like these are what middle class America believes that Hollywood parties are like. People are just dancing around naked next to prize fighters without shirts on, and people are and Z-Man with this crazy face, who looks like he's founded the Church of Satan or something. Anton LaVey, maybe he was patterned off. I don't know.
There's even role playing in this, like they dress up, and there's a Nazi.
Oh yeah, well Russ Meyer was obsessed with Nazis. Nazi imagery was in a lot of Russ Meyer movies. I think all of them even because of World War II.
Yeah.
Everything
he could think of, he threw into this movie.
But that's what makes it so. This movie is bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
And if you are in the right mindset, I mean, I guess after watching Kind Hearts and Coronets, we probably shouldn't have followed it up. By the way, I will say this was a knee-jerk reaction. I was looking at my collection. Like we were going to postpone a show until Friday because I have a lot of work to do. Elizabeth has a lot of.
I'm doing my finals.
Yeah, she's doing her classwork for Art Center. So we are going to postpone the show, and then I know you kind of didn't want to postpone it. I know you like doing the show, and I like doing the show.
Yeah, but I kind of was relieved, and then you're like, no, we have to do it.
We should do it because people keep calling or writing me, and
I love doing the show.
I mean, people are like, thanks for staying on, and and for whatever reason, I turned and I looked, and this was the first disc I saw. I'm like, ooh, we're gonna do Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
But here's the thing: like, you kept saying you're gonna love this.
I did think you would
You're
love
gonna
it.
love this movie. You're gonna love this movie.
Okay, to be honest, you know what it's like?
I'm a little hurt that you didn't know that I would not love this movie.
I would have thought you would have seen the genius and the mad parody of
There's no genius.
of Peyton Place culture.
Yeah, no.
There is a genius. Russ Meyer is a mad genius.
No.
He is a lauded, well-recognized...
It's bad acting, bad script. It's just bad.
Look, it's a different time, a different era, and I think...
And I'm really disappointed in Roger Ebert. I mean, really disappointed. I grew up watching, what is it? What was his show?
Well,
with
it was
Siskel?
sneak previews and then at the movies.
Yeah. I watched that religiously.
But that doesn't change. You can't...
I can't believe that he wrote that.
He co-wrote it with Russ Meyer. They did it together based on Russ Meyer's story.
Yeah.
And Russ Meyer's predilections.
It just blows my mind
Well, you
that
can't...
he can criticize other films when he's made like one of the worst films ever.
I would say this film has stood the test of time. Might I remind all of you, this is the Criterion Blu-ray. Criterion felt enough about this movie to put it out in a beautiful... By the way, this transfer is gorgeous.
It's a cult film and they knew people would buy it.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah.
I spent, what, $35 on that?
What?
That's how much Criterion
It's not worth $35.
It is absolutely worth $35. There's a great documentary on there. Look, this is part of film history. You know, I mean, you as an art history major and somebody who studied art, you know, there's people that don't get...
Hey, somebody said I was wrong.
Great movie. Wow at the script.
No, the script is terrible.
Gene Siskel thought this movie was terrible.
Yeah. Too. Yes.
Okay, I just want to point out, you know, I'm
Agreed.
filling your glass up there. You know.
I didn't even... Yeah.
I'm just saying. So... First of all, you guys, it's not about being right or wrong. Our relationship is not about being right or wrong. It's about sharing.
Yeah.
And it's about talking about...
I love that you share these awful movies with me. It's like...
Oh, my God.
They're the most fun.
Wow, what a passive-aggressive, backhanded...
No!
I love that you share these awful movies with me.
Like Body Melt, we bonded on Body Melt.
But I hadn't seen Body Melt.
Okay, but we bonded on Body Melt, and it was awful. So I appreciate
it's Ozploitation. Body Melt has a lot of, and by the way, the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray of Body Melt is definitely worth your time.
We should totally review Body Melt.
We will totally review Body Melt, and God love Vinegar Syndrome for putting it out. Same company that put out Liquid Sky. So here's to you, Vinegar Syndrome. No, and I think, and here's to Criterion. I mean, the fact that we have these kinds of films, this is a film that modern audiences today, unless you're somewhat educated about what this movie's supposed to be.
Are you saying I'm not educated?
No, I wasn't saying that. No. Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. Come on, if you can say, of course, that's not what I'm... Look, art is more appreciated the more you know about it. Like, I could go to a gallery and not know anything about what I'm seeing, and then I'm like, oh, nice picture. But if I have an education and I understand, like, different impressionists, you know, Renaissance painters, surrealism, whatever, pointillists, whatever your jam is.
I watched the documentary of this, and I still haven't changed my opinion about it. It's awful writing, and it's bad. And I've seen good parodies, and I've even seen good 70s parodies, and this is not one of them.
All right, and that is a very valid opinion. I'm not saying it's not. You're not wrong. There's a lot of people that hate this movie and think it's garbage.
It is.
People have called it one of the worst movies ever made.
It's not
I would
my favorite.
It shouldn't be your favorite.
It's a Body Melt to me.
But I would say that I always talk on Robservations about authorship. And I think in the case of a Russ Meyer movie, you are getting the vision of a man, and I think he succeeded in bringing what he tried to bring to the screen. I think he succeeded in doing that. Now, we might not, or you might not, or I might not, or the audience might not love it. But I will say that what he was trying to do...
Yeah, he threw everything in. Everything that interested in him, he threw it in there.
Yes.
And Ebert wrote a terrible script.
And it straight up ends with a massacre, a beheading.
Look, now he's saying I'm amazing. Sorry, I got distracted.
Okay. But I mean, this movie has a talk about a gun as a phallic symbol.
Yeah.
I mean, Z-Man sticks a gun into a lesbian woman's mouth
yes.
and blows her head off. I mean, there is a Manson-esque massacre at the end of this movie.
The end is crazy.
Z-Man is revealed to actually be a woman.
Wait, Superwoman.
Oh, right. Well, he wants to be Superwoman. You don't know why.
He calls himself Superwoman. He gets mad if you call him Z-Man at that point.
The only thing that the end of this movie could have been made more bonkers is when Lance the Gigolo finds out that Z-Man, he's rebuffing Z-Man because he thinks Z-Man is gay. But if he found out that Z-Man actually was a woman and went for it, like if I'd made this movie, I think the only misstep this movie makes is once Lance found out Z-Man was actually a woman, they should have just gone for it.
But was he a woman or was he an American?
We don't know. I think he might. I mean, Z-Man does say Lance does say he's a woman. He does have breasts. Maybe he was
Yeah, but
undergoing
he
a
might
sex.
have a penis.
We don't know. We don't know. You don't know that.
And he might have been born that way.
He could have been born that way. He could have been like Gene Simmons in Never Too Young to Die, who played a hermaphrodite.
We will never know.
We will never know. But you know what? I choose to believe he was a woman.
If Lance had sex with him, then you wouldn't have seen the great head chopping off scene.
Yeah, I mean, this movie has a beheading with Excalibur. Or it's a pseudo Excalibur. When Z-Man, the orgy, drug-fueled, psychedelic ending of this movie, the Manson family massacre, because it was clearly referencing that, I think.
Oh, and here's another ridiculous thing. When one of the victims...
Or awesome thing, depending on your point of view.
I don't remember her name, one of the band members, she's like in the house and she's scared. First of all, she abandons her lesbian girlfriend, knowing there's a serial crazy killer loose.
She's not really a lesbian, though. She's
whatever.
Dabbling. She's
bi, whatever.
She's gay until graduation.
Anyway, that's not the point. She leaves her in the bed, which she ends up getting murdered, and runs away and hides in the cottage.
Yeah, and she makes a phone call to
calls
her friends
and says, "Call the police!" And then they're like, "Oh, we'll be right there."
And they jump in the car like a SWAT team or something. It's amazing.
The guy in the wheelchair.
The guy, and Lance, who's now a paraplegic.
No, Lance. That's not Lance. It's Harrison or whatever.
Oh, Harrison. Did I say Lance? Yeah, Lance.
Harrison
Sorry.
is a paraplegic now, which I guessed before it happened.
Harris, not Harrison.
Harris. And they chuck his wheelchair in the car, put him in the car, and go over there
to rescue their bandmate.
Call the police is what she said. And instead of calling the police, they head over there?
Well, they're rescuing their friend. It's all about how...
That's ridiculous. Okay, anyway.
It was awesome.
So they get there, and they're all running in, and he's like, "What about me?" And then
yeah, they leave Harris in the car because he can't get out, and they all run out. And it's awesome because Z-Man now has a gun. He beheaded Lance with a sword. Now he has a gun that he blew the lesbian fashion designer's head off with.
It's too funny because he's like, "Oh, what about me?" He wants to go and rescue them in his wheelchair, and he's all upset that his friends left him behind as they're running in towards a murderer with a gun.
And I have to say,
and he's like, and then he crawls out of the car and gets his wheelchair.
Well, Casey Anderson, who's
so ridiculous.
Casey Anderson, if Kelly is the Jacqueline or the Farrah Fawcett Majors of the group, Casey's the Jacqueline Smith of the three Charlie's Angels bandmates, and Pat is Sabrina. I like Casey. She's like my favorite. She's totally hot. She's totally sweet.
Yeah, Casey's the
and she just
one.
Straight up gets just her. She's trying. You think she's gonna escape from crazy Z-Man? She straight up gets shot in the face.
Yep.
Which you don't expect.
No, you
she's
don't
like the
expect
sweetest
it.
character, even though
she is.
Boom, right in the face. Not quite William Peterson at the end of To Live and Die in L.A. Oops, but close. Right in the face. You don't expect it. You think she's going to survive.
And wheelchair guy's like, "Oh, I want help."
Come on, it was the greatest shit ever. It's fantastic.
At least it was funny. At the end.
Well,
the
and
first part is annoying.
Then at the end, there is this amazing voiceover that comes on, and they do a montage of the characters that we've seen in the movie, and like this voice of God that you've never heard before, and he's a familiar. By the way, one of the characters is in love with Charles Napier, who played one of the characters in The Way to Eden. We all love Charles Napier, but he's saying, "Hey, soul brother," in the Star Trek episode, The Way to Eden. Charles Napier. He was awesome. He comes back and plays like the ant. The ant was going to marry him.
The
Charles
boyfriend,
Napier, the boyfriend.
The ex.
Yeah.
Fiance.
There's a multiple wedding at the end, and then there's this incredible voiceover where this voice of
and the cheesy ending where he's explaining everybody.
That's what I mean. The narrator that we've never heard before.
Yeah, I know. It's like at the end he has to explain what he threw into this movie and its deep meaning.
It's fantastic.
He goes through every single character and explains to you what the purpose of their...
And it's all like highfalutin.
Oh my God.
Like, it's diametrically opposed to everything you've seen. This character has learned that You cannot give up friendship if it's going to lead to the loss of your soul. It's amazing.
Yeah. And at the end, he's like, all you need is love, basically.
The black sperm. Remember that? The black sperm. I mean, this movie is see, look, you're talking about it now, and now you're coming around. Like, I'll bet you now we could show this to friends of ours. Would you show it to people like Julia?
After we had like 3 bottles of wine.
It's a perfect movie to get stoned or have 3 bottles of wine, I would imagine.
Stoned. But wine. We could do shots. That would be fun.
We could do shots.
So, how do you think the verisimilitude of this film was?
Well, as a viceroy of verisimilitude, I would say part of the point of this movie is it has no verisimilitude.
Drink up, guys!
Is that it? I see. So that's how it is. I've become a drinking game. That's it. Well, here, I gotta plug this in. The keyboard's dying. I would say the point of this movie is to go, whatever verisimilitude is, this is anti-verisimilitude, and that's part of its charm. I think, don't you think?
Okay, yeah. It becomes hilarious at the end, I have to say. Ridiculously hilarious.
Which it's kind of supposed to be. Oh, see, look, have some more.
Yeah. I have to say I pre-gamed a little bit with
what?
With Claude's
His Hendrix.
Oh, Hendrix. Yeah, I had a shot and a half.
You had a shot and a half? What, people are going to think we're lushes.
We're not, but like I had to like
You don't want Candida to think less of you.
Oh, no, I don't.
It's okay, it's, you know.
Well, but they sent it to us, so I pre-gamed a little bit.
Pre-gamed a little bit. We got people are throwing in all kinds of chats. We haven't got to them. And I'm sure people have a lot to say. I think I'm going to have to put on my glasses at this point. Read these super chats that are flying in fast and furious. Let's see. Wow, where we're at here. Boy, we got to get to this. This is going to be fun. Mukbang sends in a super chat and says, tonight's Prince song is Starfish and Coffee. I love that. Thanks for the great film recommendations. I'm enjoying it very much. Mukbang, you're the best. Starfish and Coffee, what a great song. You know what? After the Strawberry, a Long Cock, and the Carrie Nations.
How does it go?
She had stuff. I don't remember all the lyrics. I have to look it up. I can't remember everything right now. My mind is on the Carrie Nation songs and all of that. So I can't. I'll get back to you on that. Mukbang also sends in another super chat and says, does Dwayne have an LGBT issue? Why was the only disgusting figure, Baron Harkonnen, shown to be bisexual when so many in it are androgynous and somewhat questionable? Oh, wait. Does Dune, pardon me, Dwayne, I was like, who's Dwayne? Wait, Mukbang, does Dune have an LGBT issue? Why was the only disgusting figure Baron Harkonnen? You're talking about David Lynch's film, not necessarily the book. I would say, pardon me, I'm going to have a little Diet Coke.
Coke?
I know. Not the kind of Coke they were doing in this movie. I would say that I think that was a David Lynch issue. David Lynch dealing with sexuality and androgyny is something that he's dealing with, and he's infused that into Dune. I don't think Dune has that issue. I don't remember it as having that issue at all. I think that's a David Lynch issue. Baron Harkonnen pulling out the heart plug of a young twink. I know. I don't want to... By the way, Dune. We're not there yet, Mukbang.
Wait, you missed his first super chat.
No, it was tonight's Prince song. That was his first super chat.
Right, okay.
Cardinal Sin sends in a super chat and says, show Elizabeth the 7 Faces of Dr. Lao, Bobby. Boy, they really... I don't own the 7 Faces of Dr. Lao.
What's that?
It's a really interesting... I would call it a fantasy film.
Oh.
It's very interesting. Tony Randall. I really like... you would like the 7 Faces of Dr. Lao.
Well, you said that about this film.
I thought you might take it more in the spirit that it's intended. You were pissed off from the beginning, so I understand.
Yeah, I was stressed. Like, I'm doing finals, and the landscaper showed up, and Gilbert was barking.
Yeah. It was not an optimal... Normally we start these movies a little later, usually the night before, but between me delivering special features for The Hills Run Red and your finals week or weeks projects, it was a little stressed as we watched this movie. Actually, I kind of thought it heightened the experience. The craziness.
The stress?
The stress, yeah. Mukbang Reviews sends, what's the best or worst date you two have ever had?
Oh.
Have we had a bad date?
Oh.
I mean, you mean separately or together? I would say, have we had a bad date?
know. We just get along so well. I don't.
We do. We really get along well. I don't think. I mean, if something went sideways or pear shaped, we would just kind of laugh about it.
I would say at Comic-Con when you said you would come get me, and you didn't.
But that's not a date. Like, you can get mad. Look, at Comic-Con, I walk 5 feet and I end up in an hour and a half long conversation. You know that.
I kept asking you, are you going to come get me or should I come down? And then you never came and got me, so I had to walk alone in the dark. And then some guy grabbed my boob and another guy slapped my ass by the time I got there, and I was so mad.
You're mad, but that's not a date. It's a Comic-Con, and Comic-Con, that kind of stuff happens. That's not a date.
Well, that's why I kept asking you, should I come?
Well, it's great that you tell that story.
Well, he asked.
Yeah, but he asked about a date.
Well, that's kind of a date.
Comic-Con is an event. It's a half professional, half thing. You know what Comic-Con's like. She knows.
Well, he asked about our best date.
What's the best or worst date? What's our best date? You know what? I think when we went, I think, you know what was good? You know what I really like doing? Go to the Snoqualmie Falls Lodge with you.
That was fun.
Yeah, so this was a year ago when we went up for my mom's birthday, and we went where we met Captain Brad.
Captain Brad.
Captain Brad came to Wenatchee. So we went up to go to this convention, but we also went up for my mom's 80th birthday. And at the last minute, when we were going to drive to Wenatchee, I said, we're going to go to the Snoqualmie Falls Lodge, which is in Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. We saw Twin Peaks.
We went to the lodge.
And we bought honey.
But didn't you have a lovely breakfast?
That was beautiful.
It was beautiful, right?
Yeah, we should stay there sometime.
That was a cool last minute thing we did. But we've done lots of cool stuff.
Lots of cool stuff.
We've done lots of cool stuff. Yeah. Jet Screamer sent in a super chat just to send in a super chat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers to that. Author Candace Bushnell acknowledges Jacqueline Suzanne's novel, Valley of the Dolls, as an inspiration for her later work, Sex and the City. Notable similarities, the depiction of 4 female professionals striving to make it in the business. I absolutely believe that, Claudius.
Yeah, Sex and the City just...
I mean, Valley of the Dolls was hugely influential. But it's one of those movies, like, I kind of see, like, maybe a movie like American Beauty that was very much about the American zeitgeist at the time that might not age particularly well. But Valley of the Dolls is one of those things that really does. Claudius goes on to say 3 younger starlets and an older star. So does the character Samantha Jones, played by Kim Cattrall, former Vulcan spy Lieutenant Valeris, and beautiful mannequin. Oh, her characters. Don't forget Big Trouble in Little China, Gracie Law. Don't forget that. Her character's inspiration to Suzanne's characterizations of Ethel Merman. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I can see that.
Really? Maybe.
I got bored with Sex and the City. It just was the same thing over and over again.
Well, you never really seen it, and
and then
we binged it all.
We binged it just like a year or 2 ago, very recently, and I liked it at first, and then it just became the same thing over.
Yeah,
and
when
over
you
and over
binge
again.
Sex and the City, it becomes not. And the thing is, Sex and the City was such a zeitgeist show.
Yeah.
It was so of the time. I mean, I didn't know what Manolo Blahniks were. I had no idea. Now I do because of Sex and the City.
What is it?
You don't know what Manolo Blahniks are? Shoes?
Oh, right.
You know, you're a mom. You didn't get a chance to buy. You married young.
What the hell?
You didn't get to be like 30 years old, be fabulous, and spend $300 on shoes.
I'm always fabulous.
I know, but not like the Sex and the City girls were.
How do you know?
Because you were married. How old are you when you got married?
A married woman can't be fabulous?
Okay, you know what I mean. You weren't single and like sleeping with multiple men and living in New York and spending $300 on shoes in your 30s.
Oh, that's what fabulous is?
No, I'm talking about in sex, like Sex in the City. Like Sex in the City. I'm not talking about you personally. Anyway.
Well, after I got divorced, I had...
Yeah, yes. Then she became a harlot. In a good way.
I was not a harlot.
I didn't say that.
But I did have fun.
Yeah. Claudius sends in a tip and says, the Valley of the Dolls and Beyond the Valley of the Dolls actually provided us with a background for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and late 60s Hollywood. Now I understand the attraction that the public had for this film, Sharon Tate and Patty Duke. Absolutely. I like Claude.
Yeah.
I wish Claude, we could all hang. Claude, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
You're awesome.
Come to L.A.
Pasadena.
Come to. We'll put you up. You can. I've got a great
Bring
couch.
your wife.
Yeah, bring your wife. Bring your kid.
And your kid.
We got plenty of stuff to amuse everyone. You're welcome anytime. Mukbang Reviews sends in a super chat and says, 30 minutes in, she's wrong. RMB's right. Great movie. Wow at the script. Siskel is wrong here. You know, see, Mukbang and I,
was awful.
we understand. Mukbang and I need to go out. You know, they have Prince nights here in L.A. where they play, it's like DJs spin Prince. Mukbang and I, we understand one another. I think we're on the same wavelength. We park our shuttlecrafts in the same shuttle bay. Mukbang knows this, though. And by the way, Mukbang is like the coolest. I want to make a movie with a character named Mukbang.
Yeah, that's a cool.
Mukbang is a cool name. I know
name.
It's just a cool name. You know, I like that name when Bill Hunt and I were doing a new UFO. We were writing a new UFO. We had a Chinese character named Bang Shen, and I always thought that would be a cool name. So I like anyone named Mukbang, or it's probably not even a name.
Mukbang, what does that mean? And
I don't know, but it's
what
great.
What does he review?
I don't know.
Movies?
But he knows he likes the same shit I like. So, a good bad film is actually a good time. I think this is I don't think this is a bad film because authorship is there. It's not bad
it's
because
bad.
I think if the artistic intent was there.
What are you reading?
Well, right here now.
Oh, you're still reading the same.
Yeah, now I'm at. She's amazing. I love her and her takes. That's you. But the movie is great too.
Thank you.
Is that okay? I'm only 30 minutes in, and the script is
Of course that's
dope.
okay. The script is awful, but yes, it's okay. It's okay that we disagree. Just like it's okay that you and I disagree.
Yes, but that's what makes this show fun.
Yeah.
You know.
It doesn't mean that I love you less.
Oh, it doesn't mean that I love you less either. Because you, to your credit, cheers to you, you'll watch anything that I show you, and you don't pretend to like it, which would drive me insane.
No, I will never pretend to like.
What's
something
interesting
I don't like.
is you'll stick it out, even if you don't like it. You will watch it to the end, which I appreciate.
I don't care if everybody loves it. If I don't like it, I will tell you that.
Yep. So thanks about that. Royce Freeman sends in a super chat and says a good bad film is actually a good time. You know, I don't necessarily think I don't like bad movies necessarily. And a good bad movie like...
Yeah, there are bad movies that are just not a good time.
Yeah, well, not a good time. But I think that, like, there's movies that I don't think are particularly good that I like because there's a verve to them. And again, authorship. If authorship is there, it's worth seeing. Mukbang sends in another super chat. Boy, Mukbang, thank you for being so generous to support Elizaviews, because I explained to her, sometimes people don't like us. Sometimes they do. You just got to roll with it. Mukbang says Siskel gave it 0 stars for your lifetime. Is that true?
I'm not surprised.
What a dick. At least he could have given him 1.
Oh, come on.
You know what? I never liked Gene Siskel.
Yeah, I didn't agree with him always, but...
For a guy who used to party at the Playboy Mansion, he's kind of a prig.
Yeah, he's...
You know what? Roger Ebert parked his shuttlecraft in the same...
Yeah, but my esteem of him has gone way down because of this.
No, because he was working with Russ Meyer. And do you think Roger Ebert didn't like big boobs?
I don't have a problem with the boobs. My problem is with the script.
Well, you got great big boobs.
TMI.
Well, it's not like people can't tell.
I'm wearing a shirt.
Well, I'm just saying, you got bodacious tatas, as they said in Officer and a Gentleman.
Oh, where'd the super chats go?
Hang on. See what happens?
See, you got all excited.
Yep, there you go.
There it is.
Hang on. Where are we? 0 stars per your live chat. There we were. Jermaine King sends in a super chat and says, I saw this film when I was 12. All right. Let's drink to Jermaine. Cheers. No parents let him. Jermaine used his wherewithal and was able to see this film. So good on Jermaine. Good on, by the way. Good on Jermaine.
I don't think any 12-year-old... it was originally rated X. This film was originally rated X.
Well, there is a lot of sex. I want to drink to Jermaine, his 12-year-old self. Well done, sir. I appreciate you.
No.
Cheers to that.
This would damage a 12-year-old's brain.
No. You know what a 12-year-old would take away from this? He would walk away and go, this is my happening, and it freaks me out.
No.
If I saw this when I was 12, I'd show it to all my friends.
No. Well, of course you would.
Yeah.
But, like, everything is thrown in here haphazardly. Like, that's not a good way for a 12-year-old to see something.
Jermaine says he couldn't handle the... I love that Jermaine's like, it warped my young mind. I couldn't handle the decapitation. Well, wait, didn't all the boobs get you through?
No. He saw a decapitation. Yeah.
Yeah, but he just saw 2 hours of boobs before the decapitation.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. 12-year-olds should not see this movie.
Sex and death. It's right there, man. Claudia sends in a tip. Tip says, Mes amis, Elizabeth's selection of films has focused on the flawed and tragic pursuit of fame and wealth. Kelly Affair joins Jep. Wow, look at this. Marcello and Louis in succumbing to the allures of success. Kind Hearts and Beyond the Valley both feature murder sprees.
Yeah.
Wow, see... You know what?
You're
I gotta watch out because Claude's totally. I'm getting psychoanalyzed.
Yes, he is reading you. Yes, you are reading him.
And my film collection.
Yeah, you keep choosing. There's an underlying, theme.
Great. I'm gonna get psychoanalyzed. Great. I got Claude who's sending you booze.
Which is why you should let me pick some movies.
You pick Sound of Music.
And let the viewers pick some movies.
We are doing that. By the way, this is a good time to mention...
I'm so excited.
Wait, we're looking at that camera, by the way.
Oh.
This is a good time to mention that you can go to the Elizabeth's Whining About Movies Facebook page.
Also, it's on Twitter, too.
Oh, it's on Twitter.
The poll.
We're going to pick movies.
Yeah.
Well, Claude, that's interesting that you found a through line for all these movies because it's a little random, but okay.
No, I'm picking up on...
No, look at the camera.
I'm picking up on a theme, too. I'm reading in between the lines here. Yeah. But it's okay.
Man,
are we out of wine?
We're out of wine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mukbang sends another super chat and says, I'm team R&B tonight. Great film, crazy LA bonkers. I love it. That's right, sir.
I like crazy and bonkers, but this was silly.
Kaz Graphics sends in a super chat. Thank you, Kaz. Oh my God, this movie sounds like a train wreck. I must watch Stone. Dude, you got to get so baked. You need the dankest nugs around to watch this movie. I'm telling you, and you just got to roll yourself a fatty, like a big ol'...
Oh, come on. You don't need all that. Actually, go into it sober, and then you'll get a real taste of what it is.
Look at the camera.
Go into it sober, and then you'll know that it's really bad.
We're talking Cheech and Chong.
Straight
up. Dank nugs. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, Mukbang sends another super chat. He says, I'm going to do the move. Oh, wait. I'm going to do the move while they pretend I'm working. I love this movie and its verisimilitude.
Yeah, how is the verisimilitude?
There is, I told you, this movie is perfect in its anti-verisimilitude, which also makes me love it. Just like I love Mirror Mirror, my favorite original series Star Trek episode, because it's the anti-Star Trek. This is anti-verisimilitude, which works beautifully. Oh, wait, everyone... Oh, see, I'm not privy to the drinking game that we've created. I don't know what to say. Sorry. Everyone's like, I'm the butt of the joke. I'm always the butt of the joke.
You're not the butt of the joke.
That's all right. Mukbang sends in a super chat and says, I'm going to do the movie while they pretend... Oh, I read this already. I love the movie Severus. Throg, our man Throg is here. Throg is late for wine. You're never too late for wine, Throg.
Never
Cheers
too late
to
for wine. Have some wine.
Elizabeth, Russ Meyer likes boobs. Rob likes boobs. Criterion clearly likes boobs. Boobs are running the government. Boobs survive the apocalypse. Boobs win.
I feel like Frog has had some wine already.
Well, he says he's late for wine, but I'm going to drink to boobs.
I think he's had wine.
This Russ Meyer is the prince.
I think boobs are beautiful.
Prince of boobage.
Here's to boobs.
Bodacious tatas, as David Keith said in Officer and Gentleman. Jet sends in a tip and says, my super chat seems to have lost its text. Laugh out loud. If you wanted to make a trend, you could watch Myra Breckenridge next. Now, Myra Breckenridge. I don't own that movie, but it's different. Well, maybe you know what? You're not wrong. Not wrong.
What's that about?
Oh, it's about boobs.
More
It
boobs?
is. Yeah, more boobs. Dan Peters sends in a super chat and says, Betsy, my Elizabeth, says, it's not the worst movie, but almost. I, Dan, saw this in 1971. Great parody. See other Myers movies to get his style. Did I misspell Russ Meyer? Did I? No, I spelled it right.
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
This is his style.
Yeah, you need to see Faster
Yeah, this
Pussycat
is the only.
Kill
this
Kill.
is the only
You need
Russ
to see
Meyer
Vixen.
film
You need
I've seen.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Okay, I could see that. I'd be down.
Dan is correct. Let's drink to Betsy. Here's to Betsy.
Betsy.
Cheers to Betsy.
We have the same name.
It's true, Babette. Hobbs and Shaw Throg tipped $1 and says, your gift is on its way, Friday, Saturday, or Monday. You know what that is, don't you? Don't say what it is.
I don't know.
It's a box of paper products of some kind.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Right.
Just in time.
It's getting a little dire here.
Thank you.
Throg,
Thank you.
yeah. We don't want to ruin the suspense.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a beautiful gift.
Look, the camera's up there. I'm talking
Oh,
about that.
thank you.
Yeah, Muckbank sends in another super chat. Liz needs some Manolo Blahniks. Here, get them. Easy. Well, thanks for that, Muckbang. Thank you very much. I would, I think you would like some Manolo Blahniks.
What's that?
Shoes. That's one of the reasons I love her is she doesn't know what Manolo Blahniks are. It's good. It's a good thing.
Get me some.
I'll get you some. I'll get you some Manolo Blahniks. I have to. Muckbang will expect it.
Yes.
Claudius sends in a tip and says, Elizabeth, vous souvenez-vous a great citation? Failure teaches us that life is but a draft, an endless rehearsal of a show that will never play. It's time to review Amélie. Merci. Well, we love Amélie.
Oh my God.
You know what we could do? We could put our Amélie poster that you have signed. You should tell people. So, maybe I don't think we've told that on this show.
Yeah, we have.
About the getting the poster?
Yeah, but
we
can
did?
tell it again.
So we met basically because we had a 96% match on OkCupid.
Yes.
And one of the reason I wrote to her was because she loved the movie Amélie,
And I wrote about it in my profile.
Yeah, you wrote about it in your profile. That's why I wrote to her. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. My worldview is encompassed by things like Amélie. If someone asked me to have like 10 pieces of pop culture that would give you insight into my worldview, Amélie would be one of those things.
Yes.
Along with like Neil Gaiman's The Sandman, along with Star Trek the original series. There's a whole pantheon of things, but that's why. So we went and they screened Amélie at the American Cinematheque at the Egyptian Theater.
That was last year.
It was last year, and Jean-Pierre Jeunet, the director, was there.
Amazing.
He spoke, and we went and I took her to this poster shop that I knew. We got an original French Amélie poster, a huge Amélie poster.
It's ginormous.
It's ginormous, and we got it signed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet. And tell the people what happened, how you got the signature.
Yeah, so everyone had their little Blu-ray DVD they wanted signed, and I had this giant poster.
But I told you we'd unfolded it so he could easily.
Right. We folded it in a way that he could sign in the perfect spot.
By the way, we didn't ruin the mint condition poster. It was already folded. We just reverse folded it so it could.
So I am pretty tall, so I kind of like.
And you speak French.
Yeah, I'm French, so I wiggled my way to the front of all these short people in line. It wasn't really a line. It was like a crowd. So I like all the way to the front. And
you did what? Do that again. Yeah, that's boobs.
And I asked him in French to please sign my poster, and I asked him to make it out to Babette.
And did he?
He did. He was like, "Oh, Babette."
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I don't want to think that life is an endless rehearsal because I have to. I've got to deliver special features. That's not a rehearsal. They need to have them.
Huh?
So the special features for Hills on Red, like that I'm going to work on after the show.
What?
I mean, it's not a dress rehearsal. The show must go on. I know it's a random thing. Anyway, Mukbang sends in a super chat and says, "Mukbang is about eating. It's about living. That's all it
Oh.
means. You need to let us all spoil your show. Wait, let us all
Spoil your show.
spoil your show? You need to.
Oh, food. I'm all about food and living.
Let's talk about food. Well, if that's what
Wow.
mukbang means, we got to get a little mukbang in our
We need
lives.
some mukbang.
I got to get some mukbang
Yeah.
tonight. What's up,
I
mukbang?
need some mukbang.
Mal Brain sends in a super chat and says, "Watch McCabe and Mrs. Miller."
What's that?
It's a western. Well, it's a western. It's
I
a
love
sort
westerns.
of a western. Yeah.
You don't love westerns.
What?
You said you didn't love westerns.
I said I didn't love westerns growing up, and I was a genre I came to late.
Oh,
I have lots of
I grew
westerns.
up watching westerns.
Well, come on. I got My Darling Clementine on Blu-ray. What's up?
Ooh.
I got Unforgiven,
Ooh,
4K.
yeah. Those are great.
I got the Man with the No Name trilogy. I mean, what are you talking? I got
was
the.
so
I have
into
the
westerns.
Searchers.
In fact,
I have
I
the
was-
Searchers on Laserdisc.
I was so into westerns that I ordered the Time Life books from like the Old West. Does anybody remember?
I remember those. Those were awesome with the
Yeah.
artwork that had
Yes.
awesome. The artwork
Oh
was-
man, was I so into that?
Yeah,
and I would,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
pour hours into reading those, and I just loved my. Where are those?
Hey, wait a minute. Anonymous sends in a tip and says, "For boobs," says RMB of the Burnettworks. "I drop my pants," says RMB of the Burnettworks. "This isn't the film to get me to release my breakdancing video." John Campy of the John Campy Show. Yeah, hey, look, man. I just said that I can't. I said when I see the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer, my pants will drop. But I want to see. Nobody wants to see John Campy's breakdancing video more than me. I just want to say that.
Oh, I want to see that.
Mukbang Reviews just sends in a super chat for
Thank
no
you.
reason. Doesn't say
Mukbang, you're
Captain
amazing.
Brad is here.
Captain
Brad
the
is here.
lifeboat.
Mukbang says, Captain Brad says, Mukbang is spending this stimulus on Elizabeth. And we appreciate
Well, yes,
that.
Thank you.
By the way, we're over time.
Is
It's
it?
9:06, babe.
No.
Yeah, it's 9:06. So, okay, the time has come to give the Elizabeths whining about movies. Hang on, I guess we should go back to this camera. Go back to our other. We have multiple cameras on the show.
Yes,
So
we do.
So our bottoms up scale. 1 to 4 glasses of wine, because a bottle of wine contains 4 glasses in it. What would you give beyond the 1970s Russ Meyer extravaganza? Beautiful widescreen extravaganza filled with great boobs. No bush, but all kinds of boobs.
Fake boobs, might I add.
No, there's
They're
beautiful,
all fake.
large, pendulous, non-fake boobs in this movie.
Fake.
I hate fake boobs.
I know, and these are fake.
There's a lot that are not.
I didn't see any non-fake.
There's a lot of
boobs.
great.
They
I don't
are
think Russ
all
Meyer liked fake boobs. I think Russ
You're
Meyer.
making assumptions.
No, I think Russ
he
Meyer.
hired Playboy.
Yeah, but
playmates.
fake boobs were not the thing back then. Men were different then.
They had fake boobs back then.
Yeah, they did, but people didn't like
Look,
that.
these boobs that
I'm telling you, Russ.
when a woman lies down and if the boobs still are perky and standing straight up and not like falling over, they are
Look,
not real.
Russ Meyer liked big boobs, and I don't think
They were
a
fake.
true boob connoisseur there's no fake boobs have no verisimilitude. There is no verisimilitude in fake boobage. Now I understand that women should be able to do whatever they want to make themselves feel
Sorry,
good.
I did not see any real boobs in this film.
I think the girl, my favorite character, my favorite girl,
Which
the band
one?
member, the nice band member that got
Oh,
shot in
yeah,
the
she
face.
was the prettiest.
She had real boobs.
No, they were fake.
They were not fake.
They were.
Look at no, I'm telling you, they weren't fake. I don't think Russ
I'm sorry,
Meyer.
you were fooled, but that's good. That's a good boob job when it fakes you out.
Oh man, no.
She had a
Okay.
good boob job.
Look,
then.
let's get back to the bottoms up scale. What would you say, Elizabeth, on a scale of? Oh wait, actually, we're not over time because we were 10 minutes late. So I'm
True.
wrong. I am wrong. I'm trying to.
So wrong.
I'm trying to. I didn't mean to do that. I
You
forgot.
rushed us.
Well, we're at 9:09. We try and keep these shows from. So it was my fault. We went off on a boob tangent, which is always a good tangent to go off on, to be honest. So yeah. So why not? Hang on. Wait, you can't. Got to say, hang on.
Look, Richard said drink, 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 drink.
Throg
drink.
Forgiven tipped $1. And he says, had the Western books from Time Life. Throg had the Western books from Time Life.
Too.
Also had the ones about fantasy featuring King Arthur and the Knights. Holy Grail, loved it. I didn't have those either.
I had the Western ones, though.
Wow, Throg is
I wish
the man.
I had them now. I don't know where they are.
I don't either. They're probably at the library. You can get them at the library.
I could rent them.
Throg, I like Throg Forgiven. Oh, Throg is forgiven. We're gonna make an unboxing video for Throg.
We are.
Yes, we are.
You're a savior.
Throg is real savior. I've been looking at bidets.
Yeah, I would love a bidet. I've always wanted one. Actually, when my kids were little, we called them bum washers.
Bum wash it. It's good.
Yeah, because it washes your bum.
Yes. But it washes other things too, right?
Sure.
Like I like to
I
clean.
think women really like bidets.
Yeah, I think so. Well, they feel really good on your gorgeous pink sack too if you're a guy. Just saying.
I think we've had a lot of wine.
I think we've had a little too much, perhaps. Candida sends in a tip.
Yes! Oh, Candida!
Hola, menos. Boa noite. Do you like port wine? It's an aperitif, but very Portuguese.
Oh, yes. The French love port, too.
I like port. Port's good.
I love port.
By the way, Candida is such a cool name.
It's so cool.
How did
and she's
I wonder
Portuguese.
I wonder how Claude and Candida met.
Yes.
What was the first movie that Claude and Candida watched? Did they Netflix and chill? Or did they go to a theater? What was the first movie?
Or even how they met.
Yeah, how did they meet? I mean, this is
an interesting question.
This is a little off topic. Perhaps we could do an Elizaviews. We could do a Skype call and record it. Maybe I could play it on the 400-minute Robservations.
Yeah. You know what I always think of? Love Actually. The beautiful Portuguese girl, and she falls in love with the writer.
That's a great...
Who is Colin Firth.
Colin Firth, yeah.
Ugh.
And then he goes to, like, Portugal.
Oh, my God.
And meets the whole family.
I love it. I love that storyline.
Anyway, I think that's true.
It's beautiful.
Josh LeCount sent in a super chat and says, Tron 3, I'm down for some Flynn Lives. As you know, or maybe you don't know, I produced an 88-minute documentary on the making of Tron that is on that DVD, and it's also on the Tron Blu-ray. I'm very proud of that documentary. It was when they actually gave out awards for DVD documentaries. It was nominated for Best Documentary, Best Catalog Documentary of the Year in 2002. I lost to MASH. Well, I lost to other movies too, but I say MASH. Das Boot. Candida, you guys saw they saw Das Boot.
What's that?
Das Boot is Wolfgang Petersen's amazing, I have it by the way, amazing World War II movie that's set on a German U-boat.
That was their first movie?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I think that maybe Claude might have, for his interests, might have taken her to that. It is a
maybe she likes
They might have
that.
seen. Did you see the director's cut when they released? Because Das Boot, there's a longer miniseries version, and then there's the theatrical version.
Wow.
Anyway,
that's pretty cool.
that's pretty intense, and they got married after that. Like if I took you to see a movie about an intense film about a German U-boat, you would have been like, as our first film, that's pretty good. You've seen the picture of them. They got a very happy family.
They're
anyway,
beautiful.
We're over time now for sure.
Yeah.
I do not know what your bottoms up scale, on a scale of 1 glass of wine to 4 glasses of wine, what do you give Russ Meyer's superlative Beyond the Valley of the Dolls? What do you think, Elizabeth?
This is tough because after talking about it and drinking a lot.
And pre-gaming, let's face it, you had a little Hendrix.
I pre-gamed. Thank you,
Candida made sure you had
and
some.
Thank you, Claudius. Claude.
Claudius.
I've had a lot to drink thanks to the Hendrix.
Claudius, by the way, is one of my most favorite things that's ever aired on TV. We should do a whole show about that. All the episodes. But anyway.
Anyway. I'm finding the humor in it, but only the ending. The first part is terrible.
Okay, but... All right.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to give this film. And I think that I will give it I'm debating between half a glass and a full glass.
Wow. Okay.
No, I think... I don't know. What is your vote?
No, I ladies first. You know, I practice that philosophy in all things.
It's just such a silly, stupid movie. I'm going to give it half a glass.
Wow, half a glass.
Yeah.
Russ Meyer,
I don't even know if it deserves that, but half a glass.
Because of the authorship, and because I believe this movie succeeds in doing what it set out to do, which I think is the mark of any great film in my estimation, I'm going to give this movie 3 glasses of wine.
What?
I give Beyond the Valley of the Dolls 3 glasses of wine. I think Russ Meyer knew exactly what he was doing, and he deserves that. 3 glasses of wine.
Oh my god. Okay.
Throg.
I think we just
Throg,
got another-
Mrs. Throg sends in a tip and says,
Oh.
back in 1998, the missus and I Warner Brother, and you Warner Brother and Chilled to Wedding Singer and City of Angels.
Oh.
Okay, first of all, Throg, whoa, back up. Hang on a second. City of Angels? City of Angels, one of my favorite movies of all time is Wim Wenders' Wings of Desire, and City of Angels is a remake of that. I mean, we got Candida and Claude rocking Das Boot, and you're watching a remake of one of my favorite German films of all time? This is no judgment. What's important
It's a theme.
is that you Chilled to Wedding Singer and City of Angels, which, by the way...
Wedding Singer is pretty funny.
I'm going to give it up for that double feature alone. Wedding Singer and City of Angels, that was peak Meg Ryan.
Very nice.
Peak Meg Ryan.
I love Meg
All right.
Ryan.
I think that's pretty good.
I could still do the scene in the diner if you want.
No.
You didn't let me last time.
I know. I don't think... You got to wait till we have to watch the movie, then you can do it.
Oh.
Mal Brain sent in a super chat and said, McCabe is Altman's chilly western with Leonard Cohen intro. Pauline Kael's fave. Yes. Yes, it is, as a matter of fact.
What?
I read that review. So, McCabe and Mrs. Miller is a Robert Altman film.
Okay.
Robert Altman was a singular filmmaker. I have a lot of his movies. We haven't
Okay.
got into Altman. We should watch Nashville. We should watch The Player. That's a cool... That should go along with The Stuntman, and yeah. But...
That's right up your alley.
It is right up my alley. I'm an Altman fan. I am an Altman. He's the hot step. Pret-a-Porter. He made that.
How many Wes Anderson films have you seen?
All of them. I have all of them. I own all of them. As a matter of fact, I just ordered the new Criterion version of Grand Budapest Hotel. You know what? Yeah, I think I
Really?
have every... Yeah.
You didn't order that for me?
Well, I have it already. But I'm replacing it with the Criterion version.
Yeah, for me.
No, for
my
my
secret
collection.
stash.
Not your secret stash.
Come on, man.
Are you stashing my Blu-rays? That's not cool.
No, I'm stashing. I'm
All of my physical media is moving in here. I'm putting up a wall over there. It's all coming in here. My entire collection.
except my secret stash.
That's not cool, man. Not cool.
Excuse
You know,
me.
I have a Japanese version of
We
Amelie that
merged-
doesn't even have.
We merged our collections and
We when was that? We did not codify that. We're not married yet.
no. Oh.
No,
Wow.
I'm just bringing that up. I'm just saying that I don't want my secret. You know,
You
when discs,
took all my Blu-rays and you alphabetized them into
but
your
half of them I bought for
collection.
you.
No, I had a pretty extensive collection.
Not a Blu-ray collection.
I had
Anyway,
some DVDs
This
too.
is an off-camera
Anyway.
discussion we're gonna have. Anyway, I think we're gonna bring this episode of Elizaviews to an end. A great conclusion. We want to thank everybody for being here. We want to thank Louis Yu. I hope he's feeling better. I'm sure Louis is like, God, will they shut up? I want to thank Louis Yu for being a great moderator. Thank you so much, Louis Yu. You know, next year when you come see the parade floats for the Rose Parade, you got to park in our. Well, it's a little bit of a walk,
Absolutely.
but you can go right down.
No,
anyway,
it's 2 blocks.
well, I know, but if he goes and sees the,
Oh yeah, right.
we're a little far to walk to the.
It's at the Pasadena
Yeah,
High
yeah, it's a
School
little far,
where
but-
Zoe went to school.
Yeah, we could, Anyway, I want to thank the great moderating. Throg says, I give, and you should too, for 4.5 boobs for this film. Also, I explained about Wim Wenders' Wings of Desire to my future wife. Then, good man, Throg, good man. By the way, that is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Blu-ray. By the way, fantastic. Why hasn't Criterion put out the sequel, Far Away So Close? I mean, I have the DVD, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank the generous support of the channel. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I don't know what we're going to watch on Friday. I promise it will not be Beyond the Valley of the Dolls 2, because there isn't one. But we'll watch something equally fun. And we want to thank you for
support. Can I pick?
No. What would you pick?
I don't know.
See, that's the problem. You wouldn't know.
Maybe you don't know either.
We'll see. Maybe. Now I look like a misogynist or something. I'm not. But the whole point is, it's so much fun. If you picked a movie you already knew, I wouldn't get the kind of reaction. The show wouldn't be as fun. I think the show, like today's show, is fun because of your reaction to this movie. That's what makes it fun. It's your views. You're the star of this show. You're Elizabeth, Wendell, and Bell. Anyway, we got to end this show. I have work that I have to do.
Although, our Sound of Music episode was pretty great. And I chose that movie.
Yes, you did. That's true. That's true. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for your support. Mr. TJ Lynn. Oh, yeah, well. Okay, Mr. TJ Lynn said Hard-Boiled, Chungking Express, In the Mood for Love, 2046, Infernal Affairs. We did watch. We've already done In the Mood for Love. Wong Kar-wai is one of my favorite directors. Hard-Boiled. I mean, Chungking Express is another Wong Kar-wai film, and so is 2046 that he was making concurrently with In the Mood for Love.
I loved In the Mood for Love.
Happy Together are some of my favorite, Tony Leung films. Which one is yours? Okay, I fell in man love. I have a man crush on Tony Leung because of Hard-Boiled.
Not a man crush.
Right, no, you gotta have because of Hard-Boiled. That was the first time and I know he was very famous before that, and Maggie Cheung and him worked together a lot. But I first saw Tony Leung in Hard-Boiled, and the first time I saw Hard-Boiled, I want to say I saw it at the New Art, and John Woo was actually there. I want to say it was a double feature, and I went and saw it, and that's where I first saw Hard-Boiled. John Woo was there. It was amazing. So that's when But In the Mood for Love is peak Tony Leung. I mean, to me, In the Mood for Love is and the fact that he's in Shang-Chi, Master of the Ten Rings, I can't believe. Here's why Kevin Feige is such a master. The fact that Tony Leung is in Shang-Chi is like the greatest thing ever. So I'm hoping like I know Simu Liu is cool. Simu Liu he was in The Expanse. It's awesome. But Tony Leung, man, I hope they make him Shang-Chi's dad. That's what I'm hoping. Or, well, if you know the comic, I won't get into it. It's a long thing. But anyway. Yes. So we're going to bring this episode to an end. I want to encourage everyone to write us letters at theburnettwork.net.
Send videos.
Send videos to us. The 400th episode of Robservations, I think it's on April 23rd. If you want to make videos for the show, we will play them. Thank you all for your generous support. And we will be back on Friday with another movie and another bottle of wine, more importantly. And maybe what Throg sent us. Who knows what's going to happen with that. And if that's the case, we're going to have an unboxing. The first Elizaviews unboxing. Ooh. So remember.
Everyone you meet has a story to tell that you haven't heard.
And?
All you have to do is listen.
Ah, yes, that's right.
I got it right.
And with that...
Have a better night.
Have a better night. And I'll see you tomorrow on Robservations at 1. And we will be back with another Elizaviews on Friday. Stay safe. Stay sequestered. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Yeah.